Hey guys, it's Diana. Welcome back. So today I want to talk about developmental milestones, how to track them, and where to find the check sheets. So CDC website has these amazing developmental milestone checklists that you can print off their website. I will put the link down below. Let me zoom it in. So as you can see, they have 4 categories: social and emotional, language communication, cognitive, movement, physical development. And over here on your right is a little square where they ask you to check off if your child is not doing any of these. Those are signs that you might want to talk to your doctor about and possibly look into further. So you get these and you observe your child. Now, what does it mean to observe? First of all, let's talk about which check sheet do you need? What checklist do you need? Let's say your daughter or your son is 4 months old, and you want to go back and make sure that they've already met their 2-month developmental checklist milestone. It still didn't make any sense. Anyway, I'm sorry guys, it's late. I'm gonna grab my baby. Goo goo gaga. This is my daughter's little rabbit. This is gonna be my baby. So let's hold our baby. Let's check this out. My baby is, what did I say, 3 months old. You have on the CDC website, you can print out 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, and 9 months. Now, if your baby is 3 months old, you do not want to print out the 4 months checklist. You want to print out the 2 months checklist. Now, why? Why wouldn't you print out the 4 months checklist? We want to go forward, not backwards. But that's not the case. We don't want to go forwards. We want to go backwards. Because kids at this age develop at a very different rate. So we're not trying to get them ahead. We are just trying to make sure that they do not fall behind. So when you print out the checklist that just passed or just met, when I say just met means the baby is 2 months old, you can print this out. If the baby is 2 months old, you can print this out. If the baby is over 2 months but not yet 4 months, then you still stick with the 2 month checklist. So again, let's give you another example just to make sure we're communicating and understanding each other. There's also a 12-month checklist and an 18-month checklist. If your son or daughter is 14 months, you would print out the 12-month checklist and do that one, not the 18-month checklist. Not until the baby is 18 months, you will not print that one out. Again, because kids do develop at a different rate. That is completely true. However, you do not want to let them have a delay for a long period of time. And I will go into that next. So I'm going to print out my checklist, and my baby is 3 months old. His well baby checkup is coming up soon, next month. And I'm going to grab my checklist, and what's the first one? Social and emotional. Begins to smile at people. Now, these checklists don't need to be done in one day. You can do them whenever you can, as long as you have it done before your next doctor's visit Or if for whatever reason you don't have a pediatrician at the time, you know, just keep them for your own records, for your own peace of mind. So the first one is begins to smile at people. Now, if you go one day observing your child and your child does not smile at all, then all you need to do is maybe even on the back, that'd be a good idea. That way it's all in one. On the back, you would write down the date. So I'm just going to write down 2/4/15 did not smile all day. Now, is that really realistic? Maybe you want to get a little bit more specific, because I'm sure you weren't staring at your child literally all day. So you can just pick a time frame and just say you really observed your child for a whole hour. So 2/4/15, I'm going to scratch that one and put did not smile in an hour's time. Now, the baby could have been asleep. I mean, do you get what I'm saying? Like, you might not get all the data that you need in one day, but that's okay because you have plenty of time. Let's say you pick another day. 2/5/15. Let's say this time you just keep an eye out for 4 hours and the baby does not smile. Between 1 and 4. So you just keep going in the back of it. You just write the date, write your notes, and when it's time to talk to your doctor, you say, look, I observed my son or daughter for a few days, and during that time the baby didn't smile at all. I was paying attention. I wrote it down. Here are the dates. Here's what happened. You know, they'll probably want to know a little bit more background information, like, well, what was going on at the time? Was there some scary movie on? Was there loud noises? You know, is there something else that could have caused the baby not to smile during the time that you observed your child? So keep that in mind too if you want to write it down, like who they were with and what they were doing. That might be very helpful. But let's say it's the opposite. Let's say your son or daughter smiles all the time. And, you know, you're looking at your baby and he's smiling. Hi, baby. Hi. And you hand over baby to grandma and the baby's smiling. And you hand over to daddy. And, again, this isn't all in one day. This is just random periods of time within those months. And you check it off. Smile, begins to smile at people. Yes. There's going to be a couple tough ones, like can briefly calm himself. And then in parentheses it says, may bring hands to mouth and suck on hand. So there's going to be a couple of tough ones that you might not know how to answer. For me, that could have been a tough one. I think I would have just guessed. So unless you know that your baby can calm him or herself down, then I would just circle it and either wait till you talk to your pediatrician about it, or you can do some research and Google it, YouTube it, try to figure out what it is exactly that means. In my head, what that means is that if the baby's crying, the baby will stop at some point and stop crying. Because I guess actually that makes sense. If a baby's continuously crying, they're crying about something. They're hurting somewhere or something's going on. So I understand why that's something that we need to check off. Now, tries to look at parent. That's another one where you might think that they're looking at you, but they're not, or they are and you're just not sure. I mean, I am very... Sometimes when I answer questions, I like make up my own questions in my own head. Like, wait, what does that mean? I don't get it. And it just, I do too much and I turn it into something that it's not. So if you're like me and you do that, then this is perfect. Now's the time to practice. tries to look at parent. Again, you're looking at the baby and the baby looks at you, and if you think you're pretty positive that the baby's looking at you, then you can check it off. And if not, then you circle it and you make sure you talk to your doctor about it at the well baby checkup, or you can call and make an appointment to specifically talk about developmental delays, which I would encourage you to do that if you can, because then you devote all of your time when you're there to talking about whatever your concern is and not have to deal with vaccines and the crying. It's already stressful enough when they're under a year old and you're taking them to the doctor because, you know, there's all this going on and, you know, they're probably not happy about it. So if you can just take them on a different time to discuss this, whatever you're concerned about, then that would be great. Let's do another one where the baby's a little bit bigger. I'm going to do 9 months old. So normally, I feel like we as parents, we definitely notice the big ones, like crawling or sitting up and rolling over and walking, and talking is usually a big one. Now, part of communication isn't only talking. And one thing that I wish I would have been aware of when I was with Eli, communication is understanding, and communication is also nonverbal. So Eli was very on his own a lot of the time. And I swore, because that's what I thought, that he was just being a boy. Like, he didn't want to listen. He's like, screw you, Mom. I'm not listening to what you have to say. But hindsight, hello, babies don't have attitude problems. It's like preteens and teenagers that have attitude problems, not babies. Like, what was I thinking? Oh my gosh, I swear I crack myself up sometimes. So if sorry guys, let me just if you track your developmental milestones, then you're in a great place to help your baby develop along the rest of the kiddos. And if whatever reason your son or daughter is not developing, then you can get them the help they need. And this is my goal. So I'm sidetracked right now. It's just, sorry. Okay, back to what we're doing. Your baby at 9 months of age. So, social and emotional. May be afraid of strangers. See, so this is like what I'm talking about. If you go to your doctor's office and you have no idea what's going on with these developmental milestones, you're not aware, you're not informed or know anything about what's going on, you're going to go to your doctor's appointment and you're going to get this sheet that normally that's how doctors, as far as I know, that's how they know if your son or daughter is meeting the developmental milestones. And they'll ask you something like, maybe afraid of strangers. Now, with Irie, with my 8-year-old, I stayed home with her for 2 months and then I went back to work. And sometimes when I had like these tough questions like this, I just guessed. I didn't really call my aunt who took care of her or dig too much into it. I just kind of was like, oh, well, not sure. So I'd either leave it blank or, you know, just answer it however I thought was right. But you can actually do these things on your own, and it's always best to do them. I'd say you're better off doing them before your doctor's appointment, so that by the time you go to your doctor's appointment, you have observed your child for whatever length of time you wanted to observe them, and you know, yes, they can do that, or no, they can't do it. So maybe afraid of strangers. So when you go to the store or the library or wherever there's a stranger, see how your child reacts. If they have no reaction, or if they have a reaction. If they do have a reaction, what kind of reaction is it? If they don't have a reaction, then just write down you don't have a reaction. the key to this is to write down and take notes. So as long as you're keeping track of it, you might not even have to write it down at the time. I mean, I'm not asking you to walk around with this checklist like, oh, wait, I gotta write it down. He was afraid of you. Stay away, stranger. Stranger danger, honey. You don't have to walk around with this. But if you're looking at it and, you know, something comes up, then you're like, hey, I can check that off my list. Like, he's afraid of strangers. That's a milestone. I should do that. So yes. Now, these checklists, like I said, also has a box over here that says act early by talking to your child's doctor. If your child, then it has a list of things. And those are tough. Those are tough to look at, and those will be tough to check off if you come across something that, you know, is a concern. And, you know, I feel like talking to somebody else about their child is always hard. Always. It doesn't matter, like, who it is. It doesn't matter. It hurts. It hurts to be aware that there's something not right. So I feel like, although this is hard, although this might be hard to do, I feel like you will be better off if you are proactive, you know, instead of reactive. So I'm not going to tell you that this is easy to do these checklists and, you know, anything like that. But I want to empower you. I want to make you a strong parent and make you aware and hopefully inspire you to do this boring thing for your baby for the first couple of years at least, and it will bring you a lifetime of peace of mind, if anything. I think that it is extra work, and I'm sure you're tired. I know you're tired. You have a newborn, you have a toddler. They're exhausting, I know, but at the end of the day, if I can do one thing, if I can do one thing over, if I can have one do-over in my life, I would choose to pay more attention to these milestones. Because had I known that I wasn't asking the right questions or saying the right things to my doctor, I could have gotten my son help a lot sooner than later. And our life would have been a little different, a little bit easier, because life was not easy, and it was a lot of frustration. I was very frustrated. I didn't know what I was doing wrong. I didn't know why I couldn't do everything that I needed to do. So do yourself a favor and go the extra mile and do these things. They're very easy. It won't take you long. And the sooner you can get help, the better. I promise you that. Because when we found out that Eli had autism, I didn't know what that meant. And I was in a really dark place. But now I'm in a great place. I'm in an awesome place. He's doing amazing, and every day we work towards getting him where he needs to be. So, guys, I'm not going to be sad anymore because there's nothing to be sad about. Okay, so have an amazing night and take care. And please, 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 I don't want to scare you. This is not about being scared or afraid. This is about being the best parent you can be for your child. And it's a small thing, and it doesn't cost you anything. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to go anywhere. Well, you do have to do some things, but it's really simple. So, yeah. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Stay fab.